Hi, YouTube. Hey, welcome on in. Apparently, there's a new Mushoku Tensei trailer that dropped. Look, I don't know anything about it other than the fact that, like, quite literally, whenever something drops Mushoku Tensei-wise, I have people randomly, sending me DMs like, new trailer dropped. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? New trailer dropped. Hey, yo, new trailer. Are you going to see the new trailer? Are you going to see the... Bro, breathe. We going to watch it. What's up, Anthony? We're gonna watch it, you know, slowly but surely. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, you know? But just like The Rock coming in and taking Cody's opportunity to finish his story, I'm going to come in here and say, hey, we'll watch it when we have the opportunity to. And from now on, I heard that it's releasing April 7th. Sundays, when Mushoku Tensei releases, we will be doing full analysis here. So sit down, sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab a snack. It's long form analysis, and we'll see how far we can go into it. I know it's only a minute long. We'll see if it's reused stuff. We might just leave that be and just focus on the new stuff. So we'll see what comes up. Did you see it? Did you see the new trailer? I haven't seen the new trailer. Did you see the new trailer? Bro, did you see the new trailer? Yeah, no, I haven't even seen it. I haven't even seen it yet. Anyways, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you guys can't even hear that. You guys can't even hear that. All right, here we go. First off, I know, good season 1. The music in the trailer is amazing, but also the way that it's just showcasing and jumping through these key points without necessarily being like, you know what, we're going to spend 3 minutes on this. Very well done. Very well done to just recollect who these people are and what they're going for. Like, think about it in the perspective of like a producer or an editor or whatnot, right? Like, what are you trying to showcase and show forth? But also, can we talk about something real quick as we go back into this? The nostalgic music. Are we about to have a completely different turn in like what was happening? So, for example, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Cour 1, I guess, we had the university arc, right? With Rudy battling through his ED and whatnot. And are we about to shift into more of like connections and reestablishing yourself in aspects like that? Because this is sort of what like I'm getting off of the feels like immediately from this, which is like, yeah, like are we about to hit a turning point essentially in an environment like this, where now like it's grounding himself more in like what you have to go ahead and deal with, like our own internal struggles outside of just like the physicality, the emotional, the sexual struggles that come through it. And that's a good question to ask. Well, I hope it's a good question to ask. That's why I'm like, I'm all for it. Anyway. They say, hold on. And I'm touching on this because I think it's important. In psychology, we also use the terms like, turning the page, starting a new chapter, your own turning points, right? What is a turning point? Let's talk about that for a second in this trailer, because now that you guys are talking about it, now I gotta. So, what is a turning point or a new page, or a new chapter, NC? What is that? What can that classify as? Right? The creation of something new, the death of something, or the step towards something. What does that mean? It means either physical, death of an aspect of oneself, death of an aspect of, our thought patterns, or the way that we've been thinking, the way that we've been establishing ourselves, the creation of a new version of ourselves, right? We're creating a new aspect as to like what we want, our goals, our expectations. We're taking a new step, right? Like taking a step is fucking terrifying. So it's like a turning point, a new page, a new chapter is usually the creation of one of these things, right? It's usually one of these things that encapsulates due to self, due to family, due to nature, like, you know. However, are turning points or creations, death steps that we take always good? Or can they be setbacks and relapses as well? And that's sort of what this trailer is like immediately making me think. It's like, if we're heading towards a new direction, towards a new like form of thinking, a new step in Rudius's journey, what does it always have to be like this grandiose step of like emergence and, you know, oh, he found himself, or he's doing like amazingness or whatnot? Or can it be like a, hey, you know what? He's relapsing. He's relapsing into old ways. He might be fucking up, and he's trying to go ahead and do it. And that's A-okay, because at the end of the day, we all have messy chapters in our lives, you know? Anyway, sorry, guys. Relapsing is normal. Exactly. Relapsing is completely normal. And just because someone talks to you once about something, and I'm going to highlight this because I've seen many, and looking at this trailer, it's reminding me of this. I've seen many people be like, oh, you should have talked to Rudy after this major event. That way he would have learned his lesson. That's not how life works. Life isn't like that. Life isn't where, like, realistically speaking, even psychologically, going through with it, you do not learn from someone just being like, that was extremely bad, blah, 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 blah. You have to internalize that. And guess what? Even if you take the next steps forward, you're probably still going to relapse because you're not going to cement everything immediately. Relapsing is normal. You know, characters and people don't just grow from one day to another. It takes time, and it also takes an understanding of self. And that's a big aspect that I'm going through with that as I'm touching on all of this. It's super duper important. Sorry, guys. I get like, I'm looking at this and like, it's hitting me with like, where are we going? What is this new shape, new page, new chapters, this new turning point that we're hitting on, and why? Right? In comes in my next question. We know that Rudy is healed thanks to Sylphie, or starting to heal thanks to Sylphie. We know that Rudius has started to heal thanks to Sylphie. We see him taking steps in his hierarchy of needs, you know, from here to here to here, and solidifying different aspects of himself. And why am I still scared? Chat, I'm going to ask this rhetorical question. Please don't answer if spoilers or whatnot. Is this relationship going to last? Yes, he has healed. Yes, they might go off and do anything. But is this relationship going to last? The more I'm cementing myself, the more I'm thinking Rudy also has other individuals that he's cared about, that he's cared for, right? And that can meet other areas in his hierarchy of needs that he still needs to be met, right? So, for example, he's still missing aspects of family, right? And, you know, he got his sexual intimacy back, right? But what about esteem? For example, you have Eris and, you know, you have Roxy and others who play a big role in esteem, in his own self-esteem, in his own confidence, in his own achievement, in his own aspects of achieving self-actualization. What if he were to encounter any person that triggers an aspect like this that isn't just healing of sexual intimacy? Because yes, having a partner can help you take in those steps. But if you haven't only solidified yourself in that realm, what about meeting the other areas of needs in here, you know? That's why I'm bringing this up. I'm like, for me, it's a question of like, how stable is this relationship? Or is this relationship going to be a bit rocky the way a lot of relationships actually are, you know? Amish Moshko Psy classes. Oh, the monkey.
Fitz 先輩の本名はシルフィエットというのではないでしょうか。
Oh, she's adorable. Oh. Hey, yo, wait, why do they look... Hey, yo, wait, what? Why do they look? Hold on. Why do they look kind of like the similar age as fucking Rudy? Okay, maybe a little bit younger, but still. MVP. I know we have Aisha here and Norn. Yo, the sisters are here. But also, hey, at least we're starting to see a little bit more of the glimpse into their life, right? Oh. Rudred has a lot of fucking questions, psychologically asking. If I was in his shoes, the man, the lad, the best boy, him, my boy. If I was in his shoes, I'll be honest with you, I would have 1,001 questions. So what happened? What happened after I left? Where's Eris? Yeah, immediately. So Rudy, where's Eris? What happened? But also, we have imagine if this was a fucking marriage certificate. I fucking bust out laughing. Oh shit, bro. I'm looking at this video and I was like, the fucking meme. I'm like, oh yeah, we're married, by the way. Honestly, oof. Okay, but backing it up. Sorry, guys. You guys have translated it? I love the fact that they are together, that you're seeing them like have this form of equality even across the table, even in sitting down and enjoying their food, you know. But there's a question that comes to mind. If this is Rudred and he's here, first off, I hope this show doesn't go into a wild fucking direction. Like I've been watching a lot of gushing magical girls, and immediately like the weirdest fucking thoughts come into mind. But aside from that, I hope this show doesn't go into like a wild direction, because right now we have a narrative that's been being told, right? Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, this just came to mind while looking at the trailer. Hold on. It has purged us. Where does the rap fit in all of this? No. What in the actual fuck? Let's talk about narratives real quick, because right now this is something that's coming to mind while looking at this trailer. We have Eartheus, right? In Eartheus's narrative, what is that? Right, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, how much has changed perspective-wise and even storytelling-wise and narrative-wise for Rudy from the very beginning, from Eartheus to where he is right now? Eartheus, this is someone who, let's be honest, was a hickey. Like, sort of gave up on life. And you can continue. You can keep adding on to like whatever narrative that is. We have Rudy. And I put two different versions of Rudy because I want you guys to conceptualize this. We had a Rudy that had ED, right? Who was struggling with his emotions. Now let's conceptualize this even further. Let's add in a bunch of negative stuff. Like, and just so that you guys have an idea as to what I'm talking about. One that is healing and is taking steps forward. Negative emotions. What else did he have happen? Oh yeah, relationship issues, family drama, death, family drama, and you can keep going on here. The reason why I'm highlighting, yeah, I was gonna say, bro, that's probably because I am. The reason why I'm highlighting this is we have different narratives or different versions of Rudy that could be present, right? People like to say, oh, well, Rudy doesn't change. Are you sure about that? Because right now I have 3 versions of Rudy. Just in this trailer and what's been presented in this trailer, and even in like what we know about him in season 1, we have 3 different versions of Rudy that have come through. We have an Earthiest version, right, which we clearly know that he was the person that got developmentally stunted, right, and like wasn't able to go ahead and take that next step forward. The hickey version of him. We have Rudy with ED, and you can even say like, imagine this: just throw in the worst scenarios. Everyone around them starts passing away. Rudy still has ED and relationship issues. He can't connect with themselves. We can call this like worst timeline Rudy or something. Right. However, he managed to get out of like this version of thinking, of that negative thinking, of depression, of dealing with all of these like negative emotion, punished Rudy, and then going into this version of Rudy, which he's healing. He's taking this next steps forward. So there's 3 different versions, narrative versions of Rudy that we've gone through. That change from being a hickey to being someone that's been able to heal and start taking steps forward and make amends and have a family and care about your family and care about others. Start being in tune about your emotions. That's awesome. That is amazing. That is like some powerful stuff. Why do I bring that up? I brought that up because I'm doing this step by step for you guys so that you guys understand my thought process, right? Fluffy, guys, mods, give a shout out to her. In case you guys don't know who she is, incredible content creator. Go check her out. Please. I'm fucking in love with her. Incredible individual. The reason why I bring this up is, who's telling this narrative? Who is telling Rudius's narrative in this conceptualized story that we hear? We're getting a timeline of events. Major event, 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 major event. Who's telling this story? Is it Rudy? Or are we getting a compilation as to Rudius's main events and going through and hitting these, I guess, have you ever tried to blacklist an emote? Wait, why? It could be the human. Is it? Could be the human god. That's why I'm asking. Like, who is telling this event? Who is telling this story, and why? Why are we breaking it down into chapters? Why do we have these huge turning points that like everyone keeps highlighting? Like, there's a turning point. Oh, this is a big turning point. Oh, turning point 1, turning point 2, turning point. It's like story wise. If when I tell my narrative, or like when everyone tells your own narrative, we usually go by and we highlight a couple major events instead of going through everything. So that's sort of what I'm conceptualizing. And then through it comes in my next thing. The events that are being told in this order, it's highlighting something which can create a parataxic distortion. Parataxic distortion essentially means putting someone on a pedestal and believing that they're there due to the experiences, the stories that you've heard, their status, their celebrity, whatever, right? That may be, or their celebrities, or their teachers, or whatever, right? We put them on pedestals in some way, shape, or form. Can this create a pedestal for those people that played a role in Rudius's life and create an unsafe or unhealthy attachment with those individuals? Say that for some reason, I don't know, there was a young maid Chan here, right? Sorry, chat. There we go. Now they can see you. What if I were to say that there was a young maid Chan, and young maid Chan is like, oh, I've heard about Paul, from the stories that people tell, and how much of an impact he's had on Rudius's life. All of a sudden, don't get me wrong, Paul's a great guy, but like we're elevating him to this position where Paul can now take, even unknowingly, a step and an advantage in that, Ed is triggering the novel riddles with how often he mentions that in 1 minute. Oh no. So comes in. Well, even with, for example, it doesn't just. Does Rudy have a healthy, normal relationship? He can have a normal relationship with Ruijerd. However, can Ruijerd, and then this is something I'm going to throw out there as an example, can Ruijerd, Ghislaine, or whatnot, if this is a story that's being told in this direction, have a healthy or normal relationship? By healthy, I mean without a parataxic distortion being in place with other people who may look up to Rudy. Throwing that question out there to you guys. I don't fucking know. I'm looking at this and I'm taking this down psychologically as aspects that like are curious for me. That like as a therapist, I'd be like, so tell me a little bit more about like people that you look up to that have an ability to talk with you, or that have had an impact in your life or are close to you, and how do they relate with your friendships and why? Like, are they close with your friends, or what? Tell me a little bit more about that, right? Is keeping people on pedestals always bad? It depends. If you acknowledge that they can make mistakes, yes, right? But is it bad? Or no, my bad. If you can acknowledge that they can make mistakes, then no. However, a lot of people put people on pedestals and then just leave them there. I mean, they might be a good person. They might show you a little bit of kindness. And that anxious, toxic attachment can start forming from that, which is why you got to be careful and you got to call shit out. Anyway. Let's go ahead and continue, guys. Sorry. Is it strange to not really have people you don't look up to like that? I mean, at some point in time, you might have no one, but it's always good to have a role model or someone that you try and go ahead and go through. Can someone not have parataxic distortion with Rudy if they don't know his past? What do they know him as? What does this world know him as aside from Rudy? Even without knowing his past. Quagmire. The Kennel Master. What is that already? What is that already for some people? That is already a parataxic distortion. That is putting someone on a pedestal. The titles are already putting someone on a pedestal without knowing them, right? Because you might not know Rudy, who he is as a person, but you know a person through their title. And now that you know them through their title, there's an expectation that comes through with it, right? And now all of a sudden, you might not know Rudy's his entire story, but you know what they've done. You know his legend. When your reputation starts preceding you, all of a sudden, like even unknowingly, it might be negatively affect you or positively affect you. There might be a little bit of a parataxic distortion there. Anyway, sorry guys, we're getting really into it. Fuck, what does Mushoku Tensei do to us, bro? Even his parents seem as amazing without knowing if there's... Dude, what does this show do to us? This is a fucking minute trailer, bro. We shouldn't be fucking cooking, brother. Oh, no. Anyway, let's go, bro. Hopefully we can finish Freedom, but I have to turn in and do like review some notes and shit, so I can't go on too insanely long because I have to review notes of the other therapists and stuff in my office and make sure that they're good before going off to being billed. But like this is one hell of a fucking journey, man. No. Oh.
ルディにずっと好きでいてもらえるように。
No. That sounds like the words of someone that's gonna get hurt. I have to work hard so Rudy can always love me. Love in a way that is free and easy and beautiful. Love in a way that like you're able to be free and be open to the experiences that come. You shouldn't have to work hard to have someone to like to get someone to love you in that way, you know? Girl, you don't have to. This sounds like this oof. Oof. She doesn't see herself as an equal, and that's the point, man. Oof. But Rudy might genuinely care. Like, don't get me wrong. Rudy might genuinely care about her, might show her all this love and affection and everything that comes through with it, right? Like, but at the same time, how many of you guys have this? And even you on YouTube, like, when we're asking these questions, your introspective questions for us to think and for, like, you know, process along these characters, which is, for example, how many of you guys often feel like you're not enough? Or maybe even have, like, a symptom of imposter syndrome? I know I do. I go through shit like that sometimes, guys, where I'm like, I don't think I'm enough. I don't think I'm good enough in this realm, you know, or good enough in this relationship, or good enough in a situation like that, you know. And it's something that like we actively have to work on and trying to go and define ourselves. And for example, I'm a partner here on Twitch, right? And I have a lot of amazing supporters on YouTube and all around, right? But oftentimes, like, it comes through where it's like, am I making good enough content? And, like, that idea starts coming into my mind. Like, there's all these other creators and whatnot. Like, am I good enough in that way, right? Imposter syndrome is a daily struggle. Fluffy, absolutely. And as a content creator yourself, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this as well, right? Like, how is that for you when you come onto stream? Or, like, how do you deal with that regularly? So, like, those questions do come to mind, and it's quite normal. Like, all of us, a majority of us, have a schema that we're working on at some point in our life, right? Making legendary content. Aw. And now I have to binge watch to catch up. What a shame. Aw. First pick. Well, thank you. At least I hope you saw it on YouTube. That would be wonderful. But this line, I have to work hard so Rudy can always love me. That's such a powerful, powerful line to just take in for a moment, dude. Because it's like, in my younger relationships, I think that that's something I thought about as well. Like, I have to always be there for my partner and try and give them everything so that way they can love me. And that way I can be with them. What about you guys? If you guys have had friendships or, you know, a relationship like that, has this thought ever crossed your mind?
頑張らないとね。
Oh. No. Well, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. It does sound... Those thoughts came to my mind. Yep. Which I'm going to go ahead and highlight something else, which is, yes, it's a part of the trailer. I know we're touching 101 different things. It's a 1 minute trailer. It's a 1 minute and 15-second trailer, and I feel like we've already done more than some other individuals would for it. Another thought that comes to mind from this is we're just gonna go fucking deep. We have the ability to, might as well. Where do Norn and Aisha see Rudy? Where do Norn and Aisha see Rudy? Power over or power under? Or same? Where do they see him? Power over, power under, or same? This is what's coming into mind is sibling-wise, relationship-wise, where do they see their brother? And where do they put him in this power dynamics? Eyes like Norn down. One on pedestal, the other is scared. His older for once. Depending on where Rudy lands on this, you can get different decisions, right? Like, let's say that Rudy lands high, Rudy lands low. What do you get? We talked about this in Gushing Magical Girls the other day. we talked about this. We talked about this in Gushing Magical Girls, which is our standard, like, normal deviation for, you know, whenever you hear any statement, any psychologist, therapist, whatever talks about, like, the Norman society, we're talking about a great majority of the population, usually whatever fits, like, you know, a great majority of us fit in there, right? What happens in a situation like this where one might see Rudy all the way up here, say in this area, and the other might see him all the way down here? Guys, we talked about this in Gushing Magical Girls. Deviations. This is where abnormal behavior starts taking effect. Abnormal behavior starts taking effect, little bits and pieces, you know, once it starts hitting what is not deemed as, like, normal in society. All of a sudden, we start getting deviant behavior and extreme deviant behavior based on what is there. What do you mean by that? Right? Let's go. Gaussian distribution is my favorite. Like, Ed, what do you mean by that? What I mean by this is, let's say that, like, Aisha is over here, Norn is over here. This is the perception of Rudy, right? Aisha's all the way over here. What is an extreme deviant behavior or a deviant behavior if she lands anywhere from here over here that you can imagine would think? What are you guys thinking about? I'm thinking parataxic distortion. I'm thinking about, like, you know, they're putting him on a pedestal. I'm thinking, like, nothing Rudy can do is wrong. So, like, no wrong actions. I'm thinking about, like, anxious attachment. I'm thinking about, like, Alabama. That's what I'm thinking when I think about extreme deviations. I'm thinking about all of this. What about if we go the other way? What if we go this way into the other way of, like, not necessarily, like, you know, one of them might be like, oh yeah, I completely, like, I see you on this pedestal. I think this is amazing. You're over here. You're whatnot. And it's not within the realm of normality, right? It's in a deviant or an extreme deviant zone. That's what we can get. Avoidant attachment. Probably oppositional defiant, right? Which is like vilification. Yeah, vilification. Oppositional defiance, so OD. What does that include? Usually individuals that are oppositional defiant, or you see teenagers and adolescents that start going through it. What are some of the horror stories that you hear from individuals like this that are in the deviant or extreme deviant side? Parent tells you, hey, I want you home by 9. I'm going to come home at 10. Hey, I don't think you should hang out with those friends. I'm going to hang out with those friends. Hey, I don't think this is a good relationship for you. I'm going to like that relationship, right? It feels like Ed started talking Greek to me. Malaka. You know. But it could even be, in both aspects, sexual deviancy. It could be sexual deviancy on both ends. Doesn't just have to be physical or developmental deviancy. It can be sexuality as a developmental milestone as well that can go on both ends. And also, adolescence is one of the key periods of times where individuals start to develop themselves and find out what they like and not like and so on and so forth. But anyway, what I'm getting at is their relationships get impact, or if I was a psychologist writing this book, I would pay attention to this and I'd be like, where would this go for Rudy, and how does this relationship impact the future, right? How would it go in that environment, right? How on the other end? What do you mean on which end? The avoidant or the anxious? Which one, Mickey? Aisha or Norn? Which one? And by the way, I just picked this because that's sort of what chat was pointing towards in that regard. What specifically are you throwing out to? Norn. How could that look like in sexual defiance or sexual deviancy? Sexual deviancy in this end might be like hyposexuality. My brother was a fucking creep, ill. Or, hey, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and go get with someone that my brother knew because I need to show him a fucking lesson, ill. I need to go ahead and have somewhat of a power over, a power under, or not a power under, but like try and get to the same level as my brother. That can be something as like, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to go ahead and like, you know, I'm going to get my partner and run away and not have to meet with them again. Like that is what sexual deviancy and disregard means in a hypo way, right? Or in an extreme deviance or deviant way. And then the other one is deviant to extreme deviance as well for like anxious attachment, right? Gonna watch the Otagairu VOD? Sounds good, brother. NTR to the brother. But this is sort of like what one looks like, even psychologically speaking, when you're talking to someone, a therapist, a good psychologist, they should be thinking about like, let's talk about the realms as to what is deemed normal. Are you in the deviant side or extreme deviance? And how did that affect you and why? Tell me a little bit more about that and so on and so forth. None of this is to make predictions. All of this is just to analyze the potentiality of characters and what that might mean for them going forward, you know? I hope you guys took pictures. This is going to be in the final exam, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are ready. Anyway, with that being said, I'm so fucking thrilled, man. I am beyond fucking excited. Again, I don't know what the fuck's going to come true. What the fuck is the rat? I didn't see no rat in this trailer. I'm thrilled. I'm really, really fucking excited. How do I view Rudy? I'll answer that right now. I'll actually answer this in here. I think Rudy... I'm going to say this so that the people in the back can hear. I think Mushoku Tensei is one of the greatest stories being told right now. I think Mushoku Tensei's story is a big mirror of reflection for a lot of people that can make them feel extremely uncomfortable, which is why they often hate on it. And they'll go into other isekais or other shows and be like, why can't it be like this show? Why doesn't Rudy have to go ahead and, you know, learn his lesson? Why can't people talk to him? Why can't do this or that? Because this show is more grounded in realism than some other shows out there, which like all it takes is one lesson and they magically get over it and they never have to address it over again, right? So for me, it's like, this show is a big mirror for a lot of people that I think a lot of people need. And I feel like Rudy is a really good vessel to exploring this show. I often feel a lot of the criticism that comes from this show is because there's a lot of projection that is happening. It's because there's a lot of schemas and whatnot that like they're holding on to instead of trying to go ahead and like find the deeper meaning in what the show is portraying. You know. But overall, I think Rudy's a wonderful character. I am so fucking excited, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you're on YouTube, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this little talk analysis of the Mushoku Tensei trailer. I'm beyond fucking thrilled for it. I'm excited to see where this goes. Come and join us, man, on Sundays. You know, starting every Sunday, we'll do a deep dive into Mushoku Tensei for the new Cour whenever it comes through. We'll have SB on for it. And would you be Rudy as his friend? Fuck yeah, I would. Are you kidding me? Bro, I feel like we would have a blast fucking talking about anime or some shit. But I'm so excited for Mushoku Tensei. I hope you guys come and join us for that. And yeah, leave a like button, comment, subscribe so it gets shared around. And if people want to go ahead and find a safe space, a community that we're open to talking about the good, the bad, the everything in a show, come and join us, you know. Anyway, thank you, YouTube. Have a good day.